Jalen Milroe has been a very interesting prospect in my eyes throughout his 2 years as starter at Alabama. Every game seemingly I would watch of Milroe felt like I was watching a better player each time. Now even I began to disagree with that sentiment by year end, at which point I no longer had faith in him at the next level and felt like him returning and capitalizing off NIL was his best path. Finally going back and watching from the sky, I began to kick myself. He was far from the problem on this Alabama offense, yet the resume of weapons they've produced over the years automatically shifted blame towards him. Even last year, Saban said it himself, he was having trouble recruiting in an NIL climate. I mean, let's not kid ourselves, it's one of the main reasons he left. With the offensive talent that surrounded Jalen Milroe in last year's playoff game against Michigan, they were lucky to even be in it, let alone on the goal line in overtime. The only reason the offense was there, and the only reason they were even top 25 this year, is because of Jalen Milroe. To show this, I want to go through what was his worst game in the public's eyes against Oklahoma. Very first dropback of the game, out of the stack at the top of the screen, we're going to get a speed out and then we're going to just get a hitch from 81. This bunch on defense is in cover 3. So essentially 81 should just be able to sit down here wide open. Jalen reads it right, hits his back foot, puts it on 81's chest, and the ball is just dropped. Very next drop back, third and short, we have Ryan Williams against off coverage running a speed out to the sticks. Jalen recognizes this once again, quick drop, hits Ryan Williams in the hands. Ball just goes right through. Now, for as great of a player as Ryan Williams is, this happened far too often. Next, we're going to get a little bit of misdirection into a sail concept with Ryan Williams coming across the middle. At the snap, the defense rolls with it, but immediately Jalen Milroe has pressure in his face. Ryan Williams is going to get open here. He knows it, but there is just not enough time. Now, you would love to see him throw this ball away instead of even risking that, but I'm not going to get on him for it because usually when he does put the ball in harm's way, it's because he made the wrong decision, not due to a lapse in judgment. Next play gets a little bit of the indicator with the motion man. So what Milroe is going to be looking at is the hitch right here, and then Ryan Williams on the slant across the middle. He looks at 5, the linebacker sits, so he comes to Ryan Williams on the slant, and this is one of his only just misses of the game. Now, this is where shit gets fun with Jalen Milroe. So we're going to get mirrored routes on both sides of the field. And Oklahoma is going to run inverted cover 3, bringing both the safeties up, dropping 11 back, as well as both the outside corners. And with this, Jalen Milroe is going to hit his back foot and throw an absolute seed to 5 up the seam in a perfect location for him to go back and grab it before 11 can hit him. From the back view, just a rope. An absolute rope up the seam. Perfect ball location. 11 slides right under him. 30-yard gain. Next up, Alabama is going to run mesh, and it's a good call because Oklahoma is in man across the screen with 1 high. What I really like from it, though, is that Milroe doesn't just recognize its man and automatically go to the mesh. He realizes Ryan Williams has 23 beat off the line and puts it right on him for a 25-plus yard gain instead of just hitting the underneath route, and Ryan Williams takes it in for a touchdown. I think it really shows his confidence as a passer that even when he knows that he has the guaranteed yards, he has the confidence to go out there and push the ball further down the field than need be and go for the big play. Next drive, we're going to get another one of those sail concepts that Alabama seemed to just love to run this year. This time out of pistol, and against it, Oklahoma is going to be running cover 3. Snap of the ball when Jalen turns his back. The backer that has responsibility for this outside zone is going to be baited into the play action. Because of this, the crosser opens up behind it. Jalen throws a perfect ball. The turf monster gets 5 and it's incomplete. It's just things like these, man. Watch from the back, pulls the defense up, makes the right read, perfect ball, just falls down. Now, this isn't a drop back, but it's really just to set the stage for what exactly is going on up here. Down the stretch, we're going to get some plays where he is given absolutely no chance because of them. But for now, we get back. His hard count was very impressive in almost every game I watched of his, and even more impressive was his ability to capitalize off of them. I mean, right here he doesn't, but at least he gives Ryan Williams somewhat of a chance. Nothing comes out of it, but it's nice to see the awareness. Once again, we get mesh. This time around, Oklahoma is not in man. Jalen Milroe still recognizes it because the linebacker sits down on the crossing route. There's no one to guard 81 underneath, and 81's hands make another appearance with an easy ball that is dropped. I cannot possibly overstate how much these balls are not Jalen Milroe's fault. Now, if I had to choose one word to describe this Alabama skill position group, it would be incompetence. Jalen Milroe is going to have an RPO, and he recognizes that he has numbers and Ryan Williams is just going to have one man to beat. Takes the snap, and I beg the question, what team is number 6 playing for? I really do not think you can blame Milroe for a concept that is there and his man just misses his block. he doesn't even react to it. He doesn't help Ryan Williams out. He doesn't try and break up the pass. He just reacts like, what happened? And then Jalen Milroe has to go track him down and make the tackle. And he's rightfully pissed off. I once again have to ask, is this incompetence by the skill group or the coaching staff? You have 2 Alabama players at the bottom of the screen running the same exact route. There is absolutely nowhere to go with this football. So he has to use his legs, which was the case a lot of times this year. Now, you want to play to critique. This is going to be the one to do it. We're going to get off coverage across the board. But Jalen Milroe is either going to try and beat this linebacker to the boundary or not recognize he's going to the boundary. Because of it, the backer reads Jalen's eyes the entire way, jumping it and taking it the opposite way for 6. Now, this is probably this is his worst play of the game. But since it went for 6, it's magnified over everything else, which is really unfortunate. This looks bad from every angle you portray it from, but this still shouldn't outweigh every single good thing he's done so far this game and does the rest of the game. Now, this is more of these simpler examples, but I do like Jalen's eyes. I don't know what the consensus is on it, but you can clearly see him go 1, 2, 3, and then go to his check down, and he does it relatively often, consistently. The one thing you'll notice though as we continue through this is even though he goes 1, 2, 3, 4 or left to right, his feet, when the pocket begins to collapse, don't follow his eyes. They follow from a clean pocket, which is nice, but once the pocket begins to collapse, you no longer see that, which is going to become somewhat of a common theme here, with his lower body beginning to contribute to most of his shortcomings. I said we would talk about the offensive line later. It's later. Now, 32 was just having his way with 57 the entire game. Gives Jalen Milroe absolutely no chance. When it comes to his lower body, I actually have credit for Twitter because I saw this on there before I actually watched him. But you'll see he drops back, and then sometimes he'll go to throw and put way too much weight on his front foot, and it just ends up in misses. Ryan Williams makes a great catch here, but once again, it's just little things with his lower body that needs to be fixed. Once again, let's revisit 57. Now we got number 40 matched up against him. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to let the clip play because I think that speaks for itself. Fun times back there for Jalen. So this is a 4th and 3, and on it we're going to get a slant on the inside, Ryan Williams on a slot fade, and a little hitch on the outside, with Jalen rolling that way. There is absolutely nothing here when he begins to roll out, but he makes something of it, throwing an absolute dart back shoulder to Ryan Williams, who makes a fantastic catch. But unfortunately, the play did not count for a penalty that I forget. Once again, his eyes are something that I really like. 1, 2, 3, comes back. I wish his feet were better. He misses the throw a little because of it, but finds his outlet, and it results in a big gain. And I mentioned earlier, once he gets pressured, this becomes a bigger issue. His feet follow him, but then he gets pressured and they get a little shaky. Although he doesn't make a lot of bad plays in structure, him being such a passive player from the pocket results in some of these bad plays outside of it in which he holds the ball far too long. Very next play, we're gonna check back in on the right side of that offensive line, matched up against 32 again, beat off the ball. Jalen somehow gets rid of that. I mean, great play by him to at least get some positive gain out of that. Although, I don't know if you'd like to see him attempt to make that throw on a consistent basis. Great rep here from Jalen in the pocket where you get a streak and then 2 digs from the inside and outside receiver. At the snap of the ball, the secondary is going to rotate into cover 3. Blitzing 32 off the edge and dropping 10 at the boundary, that opens up this dig behind it. In the flow of his processing, he's going to recognize that and put this ball directly on 5. Just an absolute strike, perfect decision making, perfect ball, moves the sticks. See his eyes from here, left. As soon as he sees it, gets rid of the ball. Decisive. Now another thing that also could be better is his timing. Top of the screen, he's going to have a hitch with Ryan Williams against off coverage. He has this all day if he throws it when he hits his back foot, but he's a little late, and because of it, even though the ball bounces off Ryan Williams' face, I mean, you can't really blame Ryan Williams. The defender gets there, perfect timing, he breaks it up. In a fitting end to the night, 32 is matched up against a tight end on the end, beats him immediately, Jalen Milroe is trying to hit the crosser here against man, can't get rid of it. Ball is batted up in the air for his third pick of the game, 2 of which you could entirely say were on his teammates. I really wanted to go through the Oklahoma performance because if you were to ask someone randomly what his worst game was, they would probably point to that. In reality, based on the games I've watched, the worst I saw him play was against Tennessee. His passing from the jump in this game was just poor. You have an RPO, easy layup, misses it. Very next drop back, we're going to get another sail concept with them running the same design I feel like they wanted to run last game, in which I said they ran the same route. Snap the ball, Jalen peeks left, rolls out right. Ryan Williams has a step out of this break, but something that was very concerning was Jalen's ability to make a throw on the run, and here once again he misses behind him, almost resulting in an interception. We're going to go through a streak of misses here that I really feel like speak for themselves, but there's a couple that I want to talk about just because there's more to it. The first of which, we get to see that jitteriness he has close up because you see the great pocket movement, steps up, finds a lane, and then just misses Ryan Williams by an inch. He slips. This is a good ball. It's catchable, but it's a little low. That's about the only complaint you can have. But you can see his feet. He starts getting happy feet at the end, and that's just the lower body issues, a couple of them that he needs to tweak. This is very good from Jalen Milroe, but the one thing I'll say is throughout watching him, he did a very good job of protecting his receiver, putting the ball back shoulder when need be. This one, he did not do that. He put Ryan Williams directly in traffic. Ryan Williams does a good job of holding on to it, but it's a good rep nonetheless. The running back's going to be on an angle route, and Jalen Milroe recognizes the matchup with a linebacker, knows he has it, uses those eyes, looks right, comes back to the mismatch, 10-yard gain, easy first down. But once you get down to the goal line, this simply cannot happen. A goal line fade to Ryan Williams does not give a good ball. To be fair, the corner goes up and makes a fantastic play on the ball, but you just cannot allow this to happen. Takes it back to near midfield, completely shifts the game. I want to recognize this is something I started questioning later on, but when he opens his shoulder to throw right, it feels like he misses a lot more, and this is just an example of that. By the way, 3 one-handed catch in the end zone, kind of ridiculous. He's missed a few of these back shoulder fades already this game, and I feel like it's something he really seems to struggle with, at least his touch on them, because when he does miss them and not give his receiver a chance, like we saw last game, they are usually airmails. Back down to the goal line, we're going to get the same exact thing, goal line fade to Ryan Williams, except this time he has a lot more space to work with, and Jalen is throwing left. With it, he puts the ball more on a line, straight at Ryan Williams' back shoulder, giving the corner no chance. Ryan Williams comes down with it for an easy touchdown. Of all of the reps I watched of Jalen Milroe, this may have been the worst non-interception rep. Out of empty, we're going to get hitch, seam, drag, cross, and then a streak on the outside. Against cover 3, this seam is going to rip through the defense, which is exactly what it does, and Jalen Milroe misses a wide open touchdown even though it looks like he's looking directly at it. And to make matters worse, he comes back to the hitch and misses by a good yard over his head. Just throw it back out there. Offensive line makes another appearance. This drop back, we get to see his feet actually work in a clean pocket. He has his zone beaters to the top and his man beaters to the bottom. Looks right, feet go with it. They're in man. Comes back left, feet come with it again, hesitates, said before it needs to get fixed, but then throws a strike on target to Ryan Williams for the 5-yard gain. Another good play, he's going to work backside to the dig, looks at Ryan Williams on the fade, the running back pulls the linebacker down, then throws a dart in between the hashes to 5 for an easy first down. A lot of the second half is really just good football and a miss here or there, so I'm not going to really go on about normal plays. But I feel like this shows his commitment to getting the ball to his outlets, and something that other quarterbacks in this class I really don't think do as well as him. He has a man bearing down on him in his face, taking him to the ground, and although this isn't the brightest thing to do every time, he knows his man is there, gets it to him, doesn't lose yards, and gains maybe 3 to 4. A positive play all around. Very next play, Tennessee comes out in man. You're going to see the motion indicator at the top of the screen. But we're pretty much just going to get verticals with a crosser here, streak Ryan Williams, and then have the tight end leak out on a wheel. Jalen Milroe knows that this motion should open up the other side of the field for this crosser to have a lot of room, which it does. He wins off the line of scrimmage. 5 has 3-yard separation. Milroe hits him in stride, gets up to the 7-yard line for a big gain. Sometimes it's so frustrating to watch him because you see him do everything right and then just miss a layup in between linebackers, and it's just throws that you can't miss. You even see him from the pocket hold the middle of the field to create more space for Ryan Williams. Right there, holds the middle of the field, comes back, bang. He does everything right. It's just the little things. Next snap, we get a nuclear bomb against a coughing baby. James Pierce Jr. just gets a ridiculous jump, bends around the edge. Milroe has absolutely no shot. Don't even know if that could have been called offsides, but holy, what a prospect. Last play of the game, we're going to get a dig at the top of the screen, and it is 4th down. He doesn't have many options here. Game on the line. He's got to force it. So, I mean, could this ball be thrown right there a little earlier and put it at maybe like the 36, give him a chance? Yes, but timing is also something I said that was a weak part for him and needs to be worked on. His anticipation needs to be better. His receiver also doesn't help him at all by not coming back to this football. I want to clarify, this is the worst game I heard the public say that Milroe played all year, and what I personally thought was his worst game as a passer. You include his ability as a runner, and it changes the whole thought process. If you enjoyed this though, and maybe want to see those LSU and Georgia games, I'd be down. Like and subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm making a real 180 here in terms of content, and it means a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.